two actually from back here. Don't think the keeper gets that, even if he goes the right way, you know. It's high and straightish into the roof of the net.
Yes, 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Kabir Lawal, and what a brilliant performance by the Under-20 Flying Eagles. Yes, it's not just the winning, but also securing a ticket for the Flying Eagles for the Under-20 World Cup. Yes, good morning. This lovely show is 360 Sports, where we'll bring you to the GC news and also the previews, the reviews, and give you the latest sports gossip so far. Yes, we are starting today with the CAF Under-20 African Nigeria to race South Africa, Egypt set Morocco test. Yes, this is CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations. Nigeria to face South Africa, Egypt for Morocco. Nigeria actually met South Africa like 4 to 5 encounters. But yes, Nigeria being the 6th-time runner of that game. Yes, defending champion were out yesterday, buffed out by the Flying Eagles. Yes, that was a good one. And for Egypt, Egypt set for Morocco is going to be a very, very big tie because the two teams are actually, yes, very, very, very okay. You just saw a clip of the Super Eagles. Maybe later on in the show, we are going to show you that of Ghana. And yes, you know the name. Yes, 360 is the name of the sports. Yes, going on now, Coach Zubairu, the coach of Super Eagles. Zubairu reveals key victory over Senegal. Yes, talking about Zubairu, he is a very good coach. He has done good things for the Flying Eagles. And in his post-interview yesterday, he stated something saying, yes, the team will never back out. And also, he will do everything possible. Yes, when a coach say everything possible, he means what he's saying. Yes, Zubairu, kudos to you and all the management, because yes, it's not all about the coach alone. The management also have their own contribution to this. Yes, very nice one there, Coach Zubairu. They will be playing their match on Thursday. Yeah, Nigeria will take on with South Africa, 6 p.m. local time, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, while Morocco will face Egypt in the second semi-final at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Yes, what about? Yes, joining us on the show is David Okon, calling us virtually on the show. David Okon, good morning. Yeah, good morning, David Okon. I can hardly hear you, but let's go on. David Okon, are you with me? Hello, David.
Yes, I am with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, David Okon. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
All right.
Yes, David Okon. Yes, what comes to your mind when you hear African Cup of Nations and the Flying Eagles making the nation proud?
All right, thank you once again for having me. It's really good to see Nigeria go through to the semi-finals, especially because it guarantees Nigeria a place at the Under-20 FIFA World Cup, a tournament we are yet to win. And it is only our hope that we can go ahead and win that tournament, maybe for the first time. But sticking with the qualification, Nigeria has struggled to score goals. We've not scored more than one with more than one goal in the tournament so far. And there were doubts. There's been doubt over Nigeria meeting big and strong teams in this competition. And that win yesterday against the reigning champion Senegal was a statement win. And even though the doubts continue in terms of goal scoring for Nigeria, because we ended up in a goalless draw and we had to win over penalty kicks, Nigeria just did what we can. I heard the coach, Ali Zubairu, speaking in his post-match conference about the team being a work in progress in terms of goals that will be scored. And of course, he said they will continue to work on goals and chances in the next game, which is against South Africa in Ismailia. But I am really delighted that Nigeria have gotten to the last 4 of this year's Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, particularly because it guarantees Nigeria a place in the FIFA World Cup in Chile later this year.
Nice one there, David Ocon. So aside securing the ticket for Under-20 World Cup, so the next match now will determine the finals, I guess. So what do you think, what kind of formation do you think can be used? Because if you watch the first and second half of that game yesterday, at a point in time, we were losing chances and we were ballooning the ball just like them. Yes.
I think yesterday was a really I think luck played its part yesterday. We did not have the better of the chances that came to the both sides. They hit the crossbar, hit the post, and our goalkeeper was the busier of the two goalkeepers. And we got through in penalty shootout. So technically, Senegal did not lose the game; they only lost it in shootout, which means that there's a lot of improvement to be done. We are coming up against the team that I consider the best team of the tournament so far in South Africa. They came out top of Group A. Remember, a group that had 5 teams and also included the host nation, Egypt. And they also dispatched the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, it may have taken 120 minutes, but they were absolutely dominant in that game. What I think will happen in that game against South Africa, I think we have to convert our chances better. Our chance conversion rate is really, really low, and you can see it from the first opening game of the tournament up till yesterday. We struggle to score goals. It is my hope that it does not become our undoing in the semi-finals against South Africa, because that South African side know how to bury their chances, and they do just that. I think Ali Zubari has to work on the goal scoring. Our defense is tight, is good, but I know they say defenses win you tournaments, but if we can't score goals against South Africa, it's going to be very difficult, because the South Africans are, in my opinion, the best team in the tournament so far. They score goals, they create chances, they keep clean sheets, and they have come a long way in terms of development in African football. We've played them a couple of times, but this is not that South Africa, as we've noticed even in their senior men's national team. This is a much, much more improved South African side, and as I said, they've been my best team in the tournament so far.
So what would be your advice for Coach Zubero, because this is the final match coming up on Thursday?
Yeah. Yes, I think let's try to improve our chances in terms of goal scoring. We've got to score early, preferably in the first half, or not too deep into the second half, but we have to have a lead going into the last 25 to 20 minutes of that game. So we've got to, if I'm to advise Zubaru, I'll tell him he should work on our finishing. And it's quite ironic, because we took about 7 attacking players, or if not 9 attacking players, I beg your pardon, to this tournament, leaving the midfield absolutely bare. Maybe that is where it is coming to hurt us in terms of being able to create chances. But we've created a few and we've not been able to convert. If we can improve our conversion rate, Zubari will be fine in taking the team past South Africa.
So David, what do you think will happen between the match between Egypt and Morocco?
Well, Egypt and Morocco is a very interesting tie. Very interesting tie, because Egypt looked down and out in the group stage, but have found a way to come through. And also Morocco have, over the last 10 to 15 years, probably the best the best youth setup in Africa, from their under 17 to their under 20 and their CHAN teams. I think they won CHAN twice in the last 5 editions. And I think it's going to be really, really important, because, as I always say, under 20 football is not, or age grade football is not about winning the competition. It's about the level of development. Where do you see these players 8 years from now, when they will be in their prime, 27, 28 years, 26 years? And the Moroccans have kept track, in that talent development. I think it's going to be, for lack of a better word, it's going to be a cracker between Egypt and Morocco. They are fierce rivals, and because Egypt are host, Morocco are hosting a lot of African competitions over the last couple of years, but because Egypt are the one hosting this one, I think Egypt are going to want to have the nod over Morocco, to still show that not just are they still one of the powerhouse in African football, but especially in North African football, where Morocco is fast catching up with Egypt's young pharaohs.
So if you watch their post interviews yesterday, the Egypt coach said they were not going to give up. I saw you nodding. Do you believe in that?
I think he's taking a mentality, or he's taking a tune, because I remember I said they started the tournament very poorly. A lot of people didn't think that Egypt were going to get into the knockout rounds, but they are into the semi-finals. And this is very dangerous because they have adopted this mentality of, okay, everybody has written us off and we are down, so we don't have anything to lose. So we can just go there. With all due respect to Egypt, they start that game as underdogs against Morocco. And that's why he is clearly feeding into that narrative as underdogs, saying, okay, we are not going to give up. We know they have all given up on us. Egyptians have given up on us because of our poor start, but we are not going to give up. We've gotten to the semi-final, which means we have a chance to get into the final. If I'm to call it, I think the game is going to go into extra time, possibly penalties, but I just see the Moroccans edging it.
So who do you think will win? How many goals to nothing against Nigeria or Nigeria?
Nigeria versus South Africa. I'm giving it to Nigeria. A 1-0 victory to Nigeria.
1-0. What about Egypt,
1-0,
Morocco?
yeah. Egypt against Morocco. I think Morocco will win in penalties.
Okay. Is it because of their goalkeeper?
They have a very good goalkeeper. I think you've seen it also. They have a very good goalkeeper and they are a very organized team. So I think Morocco will edge it in penalties. It's going to be very close. The Egyptians are ready. You remember yesterday they were leading 2-0 and they went into 2-2 against Ghana and all of that. So they score goals, but I think Morocco is a different kettle of fish entirely. And I think Morocco will just edge it in penalty shootout.
Okay, David Okon, lastly, before we let you go, Nigerian goalkeeper Harcourt is a very, very good defender. What are the accolades that made him, what stand him out in this AFCON?
Well, I think he's playing in front of a defense that is airtight, which helps a goalkeeper very well. The team is largely very solid defensively, and which it helps the Nigerian defense knowing that they have a good goalkeeper behind them. And I think he's a good goalkeeper. He's got a few MPFL experience to his name. He's had a few caps. I heard he's the son of the goalkeeper trainer at Aimba Football Club, and so you can say that he's in the genes already for those who believe in things like that. So he's had a long history of being around very good goalkeepers and having the opportunity to be trained by some of the best goalkeepers in the country. He's holding his own, and I'm already hearing call up that he should be called up to the national team and all of that, which I don't think we have a goalkeeping crisis in the national team. So we'll let him develop as a young man, and he's all-rounded, and not just him, the team, that's the defense line, and the goalkeeper, which is the entire defensive unit, is very compact, and he does his fair share. There was a drop ball yesterday, which the Senegalese couldn't convert, which I think that was a mistake from the goalkeeper. But other than that, he's been super good and super tight.
Thank you very much, David Okon, for having time to talk with us and analyzing the matches. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me, Kabir.
Yeah, thank you very much, David Okon, that's sports analyst.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much here in Abuja. And away from that, let's quickly go to MPFL. Sunshine Stars await management verdict after relegation. Talking about Sunshine Stars, when it comes to MPFL, I think they are one of the most rated team. But at times when your team goes to relegation, it's not as if you don't know what you're doing. At times, you just need to go back to the drawing board. And it's not just the players, but also the management decision and other crew. Yes, I think Sunshine awaits management verdict after relegation because now they have match next week, but then they just want to play, according to their coach yesterday's interview, he said, we just want to merely play that match. That tells you that, yes, he has actually lost hope on that. Well, that's not the end of life, and you can go back to the drawing board and also, yes, do yourself a lot of good. Let's quickly take one of their previous matches. That's match week 11. While Sunshine Stars still awaiting management verdict on their failure to perform in this season, I think they accumulated 11 goals, 8 losses. And in 37 matches, they only lost 17. That's way back too far. But there's nothing about it. It's all about game. That's why it is called sport. At times you fall, and at times you rise. But when you fall, it's just going back to the scoreboard and make your team proud. Well, from MPFL, we are still talking MPFL. Ikena Abeokuta to host Super Falcons versus Cameroon friendlies. Yes, sir. This is a very nice one where the Ikena in Ikena, talking about the Remo Stars Club, will be hosting Abeokuta to host Super Eagles Falcons and Cameroon friendlies. Yes, sir. The friendlies will be first leg will take place on Saturday, May 31st, 2025, I beg your pardon, at Remo Stars Stadium, and second leg comes up on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025 at MKO Stadium in Abeokuta. Yes, Super Falcons, we wish you all the best. Yes, away from that, we go to 2025 ITTF World Championship. Aruna and Omar eager to eat new weight in Doha. Yes, Aruna has actually been making weight for himself, where he has made the likes of Shuberi, Lascuzio, and now with Omar. Omar is somebody that when he meets in competition, he knows, yes, these are two ITTF recognized table tennis players. Let's quickly take one of his previous games.
Third encounter with his Benin counterpart, and it's a very, very interesting.
What a brilliant performance there, Aruna Quadri in Macau, China, but now they are going to Doha. And when you talk about Salifu, is somebody you reckon his name when you talk about international professional table tennis players. Yes, away from that, we go to Coco Gauff. We're talking about the Italian Open, where Coco Gauff beat Emma Raducuna in Italian Open. In recent individual ITTF World Championship held in Houston, USA, and Durban, South Africa, African players like Ochi Aruna, even in Nigeria also, yes, we're also there. Coco Gauff actually beated Emma Raducuna in Italian Open. And before this match, because we are actually keeping our eyes on this match, before they play this match, 30 minutes they had the press briefing between Coco Gauff and Emma Raducunu. Raducunu was actually saying, Gauff, you can play me, but yes, it was a very, very brilliant performance by Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff is actually making herself proud and doing good things despite a small age. Let's quickly take one of the last matches.
And the serve was the platform for every...
Huge performance by Coco Gauff, at least qualified to quarterfinals in the Italian Open. And what a proud girl. Yes, you can see her anytime she plays match, she goes with her mom. Maybe that's where the inspiration comes from. Yes, Coco Gauff, a good one for you. Wish you all the best in your quarterfinals in the ongoing Italian Open. Now, talking about football, Carlo Ancelotti to leave Real Madrid and take over Brazil national team. Carlo Ancelotti is a very big coach that is a Spanish giant coach that has toured and has so many laurels when you talk about coaching experiences. He's not just a coach, but a brother, a father, as he has been described by players and some more other tacticians. And Carlos Ancelotti, the 60-year-old, has enjoyed 4 hugely successful years in his second tenure at the Spanish giant, but they are set to finish this season without a trophy. Well, that comes to everybody's mind. Are they doing it because they don't have a trophy? No. Is he doing it to ply his trade? Nobody knows. He has the decision and he has made it open. In fact, he has been stated that he is leaving and going, yes, going for good to Brazil national team. Yes, sir. Let's take some of his achievement. Let's take some of his achievement about Carlos Ancelotti. To ply his trade in Brazil national team. Yes, sir, Carlos Ancelotti, what a very big coach, not only magnificent, but also a role model and a mentor. Let's take some of his achievements. We have some of his achievements, the laurels he has taken so far as the Spanish giant coach. Okay, the Carlo Ancelotti actually leaving Real Madrid for good. And so many people think maybe it's because the team has no trophy. That's why he's going. But I think he has his own personal issues. And when he was about, I think 2 weeks away from now, he did not only send a letter, he was called into a press conference where he spoke extensively why he wants to ply his trade in the Brazil national team. And according to him, he said Brazil is actually a home of talent. And when you take a look at this, when you talk about street and street football, where you pick talent on the street, you talk about two countries. You talk about Nigeria and Brazil. I think maybe that's why Carlo Ancelotti is going there to ply his trade. Yeah, away from that, let's quickly go to, Carlo Ancelotti's trophy haul. 5 times Champions League and 2 times La Liga, 1 Premier League, 1 Bundesliga, 1 Serie A, League 1, UEFA Super Cup, Club World Cup, Spanish Cup, twice. He also won Spanish Super Cup twice. German Super Cup, he won it twice. Yes, FA Cup, I think he did that once. Community Shield, once. Italian Cup, 1, and Italia Super Cup. Yeah, what a brilliant experience from Carlos Ancelotti. Carlos Ancelotti is actually a good coach who has been a tactician for a very long time, and he has been gathering laurels and making good things happen, yes, for himself. When you talk about Carlos Ancelotti, you can also leave Pep Guardiola behind. Yes, let's take some of their achievements. Of course, we can take it from good coaches. Yes, good coaches make good teams, and that's talking about Carlos Ancelotti. Wishing you the best in the Brazil national team. Also, Pep Guardiola, yes, your caps for you. Away from that, we go to NBA playoff. The NBA playoff yesterday night, the Timberwolves actually defeated Golden State Warriors in their 4th encounter, making it a 4-1. Yes, the last time the match happened, Steph Curry was actually injured, had an hamstring injury, but now I think he's back. He's back to the game yesterday night, but he could not see the Golden State Warrior. He could not take them to the greater height. Yes, I'm talking about Anthony Edwards. He had 30 points, 16 rebounds, and all that. Yes, the NBA playoff season is actually it's getting hotter and hotter. You take a look at that picture. That was the last match, not even yesterday's one. And you see, Steph Curry is actually behind Anthony Edwards, making to see, yes, Gordon actually wants to make a right-hand layup, but yes, all eyes on him. Yes, what will be the fate of the Golden State Warrior in the NBA playoff season at this very moment? Timberwolves, yes, doing it hook, line, and sinker. And according to history, Timberwolves actually, before the playoff season stage, they actually outtweeted, yes, talking about Los Angeles Lakers with the likes of LeBron James and also, Peter Doncic. Well, let's quickly take a highlight of the game that happened between the Golden State Warrior and the Timberwolves. Well, let's see what will happen with the Golden State Warrior in the next match, their next encounter with Timberwolves. Now, aggregate is 3-1. Yes, can the Golden State Warriors still bounce back? They did that last season. Let's see what will happen this very season. Away from basketball, let's quickly dive into the world of football, talking about Serie A. Yes, let's quickly take a look at the result of Serie A. Yes, Serie A actually had Napoli played yesterday. You saw the likes of Ademola Lookman, yes, with his brilliant contribution in yesterday's match. Yes, Napoli, when you actually talk Atalanta, yes, Atalanta is actually very strong side that has good opponent. That the opponents are good too, but they were outwitted by Atalanta because they have scorers, they have good defensive life. Yes, good rebound. When you talk about rebound, they go for the rebound and also accurate passes. Let's quickly take their previous match.
Back midway through the half.
Yes, still talking about Serie A. Serie A is actually getting hotter. You see teams dropping and teams going down. But while some teams are making themselves proud, yes, like Ademola Lookman actually made his club proud yesterday. Let's quickly take a look at the fixtures and also the tables. Then on Serie A. Serie A is actually getting hotter, and most players are not. It's not all about the names. It's all about contributing your own quota to the clubs especially when it comes. Yes, Serie A match day 36 table. We have Napoli topping the table with 78 points. Inter Milan with 77 points, while Atalanta have 71 points. You can see that point there. They have 6 points different between Inter Milan and Atalanta. Juventus have 64 points, and Lazio also have 64 points. Yes, they are trailing each other with that 64 points. Roma have 63 points. Bologna have 62 points, and AC Milan have 60 points. Fiorentina have 59 points. Como 48. Torino 44. Udinese 44. That's awesome. And Napoli actually are topping the Serie A match day 36 table right now. Let's quickly take one of the matches that was played yesterday. Yeah, raw talent there, raw football, talking about Serie A. And that's the size of the program today. Let's do this again next time. Don't forget, sport is not just a business, but also entertainment. Bye for now.